The next thing which I thought I'll take you through is one other powerful software, which is a data analytics software. I'll spend a minute or two to explain this, and that is called as eCAAT. Okay, so let me quickly share a different screen now. And this is a feature or a software which you'll find it over here, which is appearing over here, eCAAT. And eCAAT is basically used, it's a data analytics software, which is an add-on to Excel, which is a separate software in addition to Excel. This is third-party software which I've subscribed to. So here what this software does, my dear friends, is that it can summarize or it can give you a report or a perspective in different way. For instance, I have sales. One of the things when we start doing an audit is we want to go through what the file is and get a perspective of what am I dealing with. So for this, what I can do is if I have to get some sort of a view or a perspective of what the data is, I can definitely go through this in Excel lines and lines, or I can use pivot, summary, etc. But at one shot, if I want to do certain things, that is possible through this. For example, if I can quickly go down until the end, I see that there are 6,666 records. Okay. Now I can simply instead of doing all of those, I just go to the software. Of course, this has one more feature. I can right click and just search for a function and run it. So I want statistics about this software. It's called as column statistics. I just run it. Of course, there's a whole lot of things on data analytics which we should be aware of, but I just thought I'll give you a intro about it. So a small perspective. So I'm talking about what are the basic things I want to run. So I tell boss, me the sum of all the records. For date field, run some basic checks. For character fields, I can run basic checks. So let's say I'm just running it for numerical fields, and let's say I say okay. So now what happens is it runs a summary of all of this, and at one shot, I'm able to get a review or a perspective of what this data is. Let's see how the results look like. They look something like this. It says how many records are there, average of positive records, negative records, maximum value. It will also give you date field and character field statistics. I did not choose that to run the analysis now because it may take a few more seconds. What it also can do, my dear friend, is, summarizing, which is something which I really like, especially sampling. For audit, we need to use sampling to a large extent. So let's say I go click on sampling and I choose by a file. I want to stratify that. I want to stratify these samples. So how do I stratify? Based on the number or the numeric field. So what I do over here is I click on this. I then go to sales. I now know what my sales are. It is chosen what is the minimum value and the maximum value. So let's see how it looks like. This is the option which is there. I've chosen field to stratify his sales. Minimum value is 500. Maximum value is about 2.5 lakh or 2,26,000. I've said that create incremental groups of maybe 25,000. And then what I do is I say autofill. So it creates class intervals and pushes all the sales within this class interval. So the moment I say okay, now what it does is it's actually calculating in the backend, and it says that, what are the possible class intervals. And you can see that class interval appearing over here in the form of a report like this. So what does it say? It says that majority of my sales, my dear friend, is less than 25,500, 69%. And this is constituting close to about 27% of sales. Now, this is useful information for you because if you kept your materiality as 25,000, you're actually failing in this case, correct? So these are functions which will help you to analyze data much quicker. And I also have a function called sampling. You can just click on sampling. Then what it says is, it says, hey, why don't you pick up samples from this data? So I can choose maybe 10 samples from here, maybe 2 samples from here, 3 samples from here, 1 each from here. And once I've done, I just say extract, it pushes everything and generates the sample in a simple report. And this is how it looks like. So I have my invoice date, I have my sales, I have invoice number, name, user ID. So I can always double click on this. to see whether if I can do some filtering, name, amount, dateways, various types of filter. I can also type which are the types of user ID. I can also say double A. I can type RA. I can figure out who are those people. So these are dynamic options which are available, and this is quite handy if you ask me in terms of